The Uruguay national football team represents Uruguay in international football, and is controlled by the Uruguayan Football Association, the governing body for football in Uruguay. The Uruguayan team is commonly referred to as La Celeste. Uruguay has won the Copa America 15 times. They are tied with Argentina for the most titles in the history of the tournament. Uruguay won their most recent title in 2011. Additionally, Uruguay are the holders of 4 FIFA World Championships. The team has won the FIFA World Cup twice, including the first World Cup in 1930 as hosts, defeating Argentina 4-2 in the final. Their second title came in 1950, upsetting host Brazil 2-1 in the final match, which had the highest attendance for a football match ever. Uruguay has also won gold medals at the Olympic football tournament twice, in 1924 and 1928. The gold medals received at the 1924 and 1928 Summer Olympics are recognized by FIFA as Senior FIFA World Championships. History. Early history. It is generally believed that the inaugural game of the Brazil national football team was a 1914 match between a Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo select team and the English club Exeter City, held in Fluminense Stadium. Brazil won 2-0 with goals by Oswaldo Gomes and Osman, though it is claimed that the match was a 3-3 draw. In contrast to its future success, the national team's early appearances were not brilliant. Other early matches played during that time include several friendly games against Argentina, Chile, and Uruguay. However, led by the goal-scoring abilities of Arthur Friedenreich, they were victorious at home in the South American Championships in 1919, repeating their victory, also at home, in 1922. First World Cup and title drought. In 1930, Brazil played in the first World Cup, held in Uruguay. The squad defeated Bolivia but lost to Yugoslavia, being eliminated from the competition. They lost in the first round to Spain in 1934 in Italy, but reached the semi-finals in France in 1938, being defeated 2-1 by eventual winners Italy. Brazil were the only South American team to participate in this competition. The 1949 South American Championship held in Brazil ended a 27-year streak without official titles. The last one had been in the 1922 South American Championship, also played on Brazilian soil. The 1950 I Maracanazo/I. None. Pelé and the First Golden Era. For the 1958 World Cup, Brazil were drawn in a group with England, the USSR, and Austria. They beat Austria 3-0 in their first match, then drew 0-0 with England. Before the match, coach Vicente Fiala made 3 substitutions that were crucial for Brazil to defeat the Soviets: Zito, Garrincha, and Pelé. From the kickoff, they kept up the pressure relentlessly, and after 3 minutes, which were later described as the greatest 3 minutes in the history of football, Vava gave Brazil the lead. They won the match by 2-0. Pelé scored the only goal of their quarter-final match against Wales, and they beat France 5-2 in the semi-final. Brazil then beat Sweden 5-2 in the final, winning their first World Cup and becoming the first nation to win a World Cup title outside of its own continent. Pelé described it tearfully as a nation coming of age. In the 1962 World Cup, Brazil earned its second title with Garrincha as the star player, a mantle and responsibility laid upon him after the regular talisman, Pelé, was injured during the second group match against Czechoslovakia and unable to play for the rest of the tournament. In the 1966 World Cup, Brazil had their worst performance in a World Cup. The 1966 tournament was remembered for its excessively physical play, and Pelé was one of the players most affected. Against Portugal, several violent tackles by the Portuguese defenders caused Pelé to leave the match and the tournament. Brazil lost this match and was eliminated in the first round of the World Cup for the first time since 1934. They have not failed to reach the knockout stages of the competition since. Brazil became the second nation to be eliminated in the first round while holding the World Cup crown following Italy in 1950. After the 2002, 2010, 2014 and 2018 World Cups, France, Italy, Spain, and Germany were also added to this list. After the tournament, Pelé declared that he did not wish to play in the World Cup again. Nonetheless, he returned in 1970. Brazil won its third World Cup in Mexico in 1970. It fielded what has since then often been considered the best World Cup football squad ever, led by Pelé in his last World Cup finals, Captain Carlos Alberto Torres, Gerardinho, Tostão, Gerson, and Rivellino. Even though Garrincha had retired, this team was still a force to be reckoned with. They won all 6 of their games against Czechoslovakia, England, and Romania during group play, and against Peru, Uruguay, and Italy in the knockout rounds. Gerardinho was the second top scorer with 7 goals, and is the only player to score in every match in a World Cup. Pelé finished with 4 goals. Brazil lifted the Jules Rimet Trophy for the third time, which meant that they were allowed to keep it. A replacement was then commissioned, though it would be 24 years before Brazil won it again. The dry spell. After the international retirement of Pelé and other stars from the 1970 squad, Brazil was not able to overcome the Netherlands at the 1974 World Cup in West Germany, and finished in 4th place after losing the 3rd-place game to Poland. In the second group stage of the 1978 World Cup, Brazil competed with tournament hosts Argentina for top spot and a place in the finals. In their last group match, Brazil defeated Poland 3-1 to go to the top of the group with a goal difference of +5. Argentina had a goal difference of +2, but in its last group match, it defeated Peru 6-0. And thus qualified for the final in a match accused of ultimately unproven match fixing. Brazil subsequently beat Italy in the third-place playoff, and were the only team to remain unbeaten in the tournament. At the 1982 World Cup, held in Spain, Brazil were the tournament favourites, and easily moved through the early part of the draw, but a 3-2 defeat in Barcelona to Italy, in a classic World Cup match, eliminated them from the tournament in the match that they refer to as Siria's disaster, referencing the stadium's name. The 1982 team, with a midfield of Socrates, Zico, Falco, and Eder, is remembered as perhaps the greatest team never to win a World Cup. Several players, including Socrates and Zico, from 1982 returned to play at the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. Brazil, still a very good team and more disciplined defensively than 4 years earlier, met the Michel Platini-led France in the quarter-finals in a classic of total football. The game played to a 1-1 draw in regulation time, and after a goalless extra time, it all came down to a penalty shootout, where Brazil was defeated 4-3. After a 40-year hiatus, Brazil was victorious in the 1989 Copa America, this being their 4th victory in 4 tournaments hosted in Brazil. This achievement ended Brazil's 19-year streak absent a championship. The last one had been in the 1970 World Cup. At the 1990 World Cup in Italy, Brazil was coached by Sebastião Lazzaroni, that had been the coach in the 1989 Copa America. With a defensive scheme, whose main symbol was midfielder Dunga, forward Carica and 3 centre-backs, the team lacked creativity but made it to the second round. Brazil was eliminated by Diego Maradona-led Argentina in the round of 16 in Turin, losing to their South American arch-rivals 1-0. The second golden era. Brazil went 24 years without winning a World Cup or even participating in a final. Their struggles ended at the 1994 tournament in the United States, where a solid side headed by Romario and Bebeto in attack, captain Dunga in midfield, goalkeeper Claudio Taffarel and defender Jorginho, won the World Cup for a then record 4th time. Highlights of their campaign included a 1-0 victory over the United States in the round of 16 at Stanford University, a 3-2 win over the Netherlands in the quarter-finals in Dallas, and a 1-0 victory over Sweden in the semi-finals at Pasadena's Rose Bowl. This set up Brazil-Italy in the final in Pasadena. A game played in searing heat which ended as a goalless draw, with Italy's defense led by Franco Baresi keeping out Romario. Penalty kicks loomed, and Brazil became champions with Roberto Baggio missing Italy's last penalty. Despite the triumph, the 1994 World Cup winning team is not held in the same high esteem in Brazil as their other World Cup winning teams. 442 magazine labeled the 1994 team unloved in Brazil due to their pragmatic, defensive style over the more typical Brazilian style of attacking flair. Entering the 1998 World Cup as defending champions, Brazil finished runner-up. Having topped their group and won the next two rounds, Brazil beat the Netherlands on penalties in the semi-final following a 1-1 draw. Player of the tournament Ronaldo scored 4 goals and made 3 assists en route to the final. The build-up to the final itself was overshadowed by Ronaldo suffering a convulsive fit only hours before kickoff. The starting lineup without Ronaldo was released to a shocked world media, but after pleading that he felt fine and requested to play, Ronaldo was reinstated by the coach, before giving a below par performance as France, led by Zidane, won 3-0. Fueled by the 3Rs, Brazil won its 5th championship at the 2002 World Cup, held in South Korea and Japan. Brazil beat all 3 opponents in group play in South Korea and topped the group. In Brazil's opening game against Turkey, in Ulsan, Rivaldo fell to the ground clutching his face after Turkey's Hakan Ünsal had kicked the ball at his legs. Rivaldo escaped suspension but was fined £5,180 for play acting, and became the first player ever to be punished in FIFA's crackdown on diving. In their knockout round matches in Japan, Brazil defeated Belgium 2-0 in Kobe in the round of 16. Brazil defeated England 2-1 in the quarter-finals in Shizuoka, with the winning goal coming from an unexpected free kick by Ronaldinho from 40 yards out. The semi-final was against Turkey in Saitama. Brazil won 1-0. The final was between Germany and Brazil in Yokohama, where Ronaldo scored 2 goals in Brazil's 2-0 triumph. Ronaldo also won the Golden Shoe as the tournament's leading scorer with 8 goals. Brazil's success saw them receive the Laureus World Sports Award for Team of the Year. Brazil won the 2004 Copa America, their 3rd win in 4 competitions since 1997. Brazil also won the 2005 FIFA Confederations Cup for the 2nd time. Manager Carlos Alberto Pereira built his side through a 4-2-2-2 formation. Nicknamed the Magic Quartet, the attack was built around 4 players: Ronaldo, Adriano, Kaká, and Ronaldinho. World Cup drought. In the 2006 World Cup, Brazil won its first 2 games against Croatia and Australia. In the final group game against Japan, Brazil won 4-1. Ronaldo scored twice and equaled the record for the most goals scored across all World Cups. In the round of 16, Brazil beat Ghana 3-0. Ronaldo's goal was his 15th in World Cup history, breaking the record. Brazil, however, was eliminated in the quarter-finals against France, losing 1-0 to a Thierry Henry goal. Dunga was hired as Brazil's new team manager in 2006. Brazil then won the 2007 Copa America, where forward Robinho was awarded the Golden Boot and named the tournament's best player. 2 years later, Brazil won the 2009 FIFA Confederations Cup, defeating the US 3-2 in the final, to seal their 3rd Confederations Cup title. Kaká was named as the player of the tournament while striker Luis Fabiano won the top goalscorer award. At the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, Brazil won their first 2 matches against North Korea and the Ivory Coast, respectively. Their last match, against Portugal, ended in a 0-0 draw. They faced Chile in the round of 16, winning 3-0, although in the quarter-final they fell to the Netherlands 2-1. In July 2010, Mano Menezes was named as Brazil's new coach. At the 2011 Copa America, Brazil lost against Paraguay and was eliminated in the quarter-finals. On July 4, 2012, due to a lack of competitive matches because the team had automatically qualified for the 2014 World Cup as tournament hosts, Brazil was ranked 11th in the FIFA ranking. Return of Luis Felipe Scolari. 2014 FIFA World Cup. Return of Dunga. 2015 Copa America. Copa America Centenario. Tide era. Team image. Uniforms. Brazil's first team colors were white with blue collars, but following the defeat at Maracanã in the 1950 World Cup, the colors were criticized for lacking patriotism. With permission from the Brazilian Sports Confederation, the newspaper Correio da Manhã held a competition to design a new kit incorporating the four colors of the Brazilian flag. The winning design was a yellow jersey with green trim and blue shorts with the white trim drawn by Alder Garcia Schlee, a 19-year-old from Pelotas. The new colors were first used in March 1954 in a match against Chile, and have been used ever since. Topper were the manufacturers of Brazil's kit up to and including the match against Wales on September 11, 1991. Umbro took over before the next match, versus Yugoslavia in October 1991. Nike began making Brazil kits in late 1996, in time for the 1997 Copa America and the 1998 World Cup. The use of blue and white as the second kit colors owes its origins to the defunct latter-day Portuguese monarchy and dates from the 1930s, but it became the permanent second choice accidentally in the 1958 World Cup final. Brazil's opponents were Sweden, who also wear yellow, and a draw gave the home team, Sweden, the right to play in yellow. Brazil, who traveled with no second kit, hurriedly purchased a set of blue shirts and sewed on them the badges taken from their yellow shirts. Kit sponsorship. Nicknames. The Brazil national team is known by different names in various parts of the world. Nicknames for the squad in Brazil include, Canarinho, meaning little canary, a reference to a species of bird commonly found in Brazil that has a vivid yellow color. This phrase was popularized by the late cartoonist Fernando Mangabeira Piraquete during the 1950 World Cup despite the team not wearing the color yet back then. Amarelinha, Silico, Verde Amarela, Pentacampeão, and Esquadrão de Ouro. Some Latin American commentators often refer to the Brazil team as El Scratch, among others. Training camp. Brazil's training camp is the Granja Comary in Terçopolis, located 90 kilometers from Rio de Janeiro. Granja Comary was opened in 1987, and underwent significant renovations in 2013 and 2014. Results and fixtures. Win. Draw. Loss. 2021. 2022. Coaching staff. Players. Current squad. The following players were called up for friendlies against Ghana and Tunisia on 23 and September 27, 2022, respectively. Information correct as of September 27, 2022, after the match against Tunisia. Recent call UPS. The following players have been called up to the Brazil squad in the last 12 months. Individual records. Manager records. Mario Zagallo became the first person to win the World Cup both as a player and as a manager. In 1970, when he was of age 38, he won the World Cup, which made him the second youngest coach to win the World Cup. While still in Brazil as an assistant coach, the team won the 1994 FIFA World Cup. Player records. As of September 27, 2022. Players in bold are still active with Brazil. Most capped players. Top goal scorers. Youngest goal scorer. Oldest goal scorer. Most goals scored in a single match. First goal scored. Competitive record. Champions runners-up third place tournament played fully or partially on home soil. FIFA World Cup. Brazil has qualified for every FIFA World Cup they entered, never requiring a qualifying playoff. With 5 titles, they have won the tournament on more occasions than any other national team. Asterisk draws include knockout matches decided via penalty shootout. Copa America. FIFA Confederations Cup. Olympic Games. Head-to-head record. Below is a result summary of all matches Brazil have played against FIFA-recognized teams. Updated to September 27, 2022. Positive record. Neutral record. Negative record. Matches against non-FIFA and clubs. Honors. Major competitions. FIFA World Cup. Champions: 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, 2002. Runners-up: 1950, 1998. Third place: 1938, 1978. Fourth place: 1974, 2014. South American Championship/Copa America. Champions: 1919, 1922, 1949, 1989, 1997, 1999, 2004, 2007, 2019. Runners-up: 1921, 1925, 1937, 1945, 1946, 1953, 1957, 1959, 1983, 1991, 1995, 2021. Third place: 1916, 1917, 1920, 1942, 1959, 1975, 1979. Fourth place: 1923, 1956, 1963. FIFA Confederations Cup. Champions: 1997, 2005, 2009, 2013. Runners-up: 1999. Fourth place: 2001. Pan American Championship. Champions: 1952, 1956. Runners-up: 1960. CONCACAF Gold Cup. Runners-up: 1996, 2003. Third place: 1998. South American tournaments. Roca Cup/Superclásico de las Americas. Winners: 1914, 1922, 1945, 1957, 1960, 1963, 1971, 1976, 2011, 2012, 2014, 2018. Copa Confraternidad. Winners: 1923. Copa 50 IMO Aniversario de Clarín. Winners: 1995. Copa Rio Branco. Winners: 1931, 1932, 1947, 1950, 1967, 1968, 1976. Copa Rodriguez Alves. Winners: 1922, 1923. Taca Oswaldo Cruz. Winners: 1950, 1955, 1956, 1958, 1961, 1962, 1968, 1976. Copa Bernardo O'Higgins. Winners: 1955, 1959, 1961, 1966. Copa Teixeira. Winners, 1990. Taca Jorge Chavez / Santos Dumont. Winners, 1968. Olympic Games. Friendlies. Taca Interventor Federal. Winners, 1934. Taca Dois de Julho. Winners, 1934. Copa Emilio Garistazu Medici. Winners, 1970. Taca Independencia. Winners, 1972. Taca do Atlântico. Winners, 1956, 1970, 1976. USA Bicentennial Cup Tournament. Winners, 1976. Taca Centenario Jornal o Fluminense. Winners, 1978. Saudi Crown Prince Trophy. Winners, 1978. Rouse Cup. Winners, 1987. Australia Bicentenary Gold Cup. Winners, 1988. Amistad Cup winners, 1992. Umbro Cup. Winners, 1995. Nelson Mandela Challenge. Winners, 1996. Lunar New Year Cup. Winners, 2005. Kirin Challenge Cup winners, 2022. Awards. FIFA Team of the Year. Winners, 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. World Soccer Team of the Year winners, 1982, 2002 Laureus World Team of the Year. Winners, 2003. FIFA World Cup Fair Play Trophy. Winners, 1982, 1986, 1994, 2006. FIFA Confederations Cup Fair Play Trophy. Winners, 1999, 2009. Copa America Fair Play Trophy. Winners, 2019, 2021. Chronology of titles. Summary.